Good day, everyone. This is Rich, and in today's video, we're going to go over how you may get included into Google News. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. I appreciate it. Anyway, what we're going to do today is kind of go through a step-by-step process of how you may potentially get into the Google News feed with your website. This does not happen to everyone, and there are a lot of guidelines and restrictions and things like that, so you'll have to read about those to get started. More than likely, if you searched on Google, you notice news events show up for whatever you're looking for, and that's pretty much where a lot of your traffic will come in from. This is the general overview of the news feed if you go directly to news.google.com, and we're talking anything from world events, business event, anything you want, sports, and whatnot. So reason why I have MLS up today is because I'm going to be doing a site that's focused on soccer. I'll get into that in a second. So if we head over to the Google support page, this is an important page for you to read before you get started. It tells you all about the restrictions and things you can do to monetize. Just go through this page. I'm going to link it in the description below so you can get to it easily. And then you can use this Publisher Center right here in the middle, and it'll take you to this page, which we will discuss how you can get your site added into Google News. So on April 12th, 2024, I decided to add one of my sites to Google News to see if I can get accepted and potentially get traffic. So on April 15th, which is today, I did get accepted. And right away, I wanted to create a video to help you guys out and get your site accepted. Now, the big thing is, it does say you're accepted. However, are you going to show up in the news feed? I don't know. We're going to find out over time. But the goal of this video is to help you get your site in there so you go through the steps and you don't miss out on anything that can hurt. Okay, so real quick, let me just show you this image I took of my email, and it says your publication is now live. Your publication is now live with the Google News app. Users can now search for and follow your customized landing page on the Google News app, news.google.com. The submission of a feed or URL through Publisher Center doesn't guarantee surfacing or ranking in Google News. So that's pretty much what's the most important part here. There's no guarantee. What I'm showing you is just how to get in, potentially. Okay, so let's go through this and go step by step. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I created this site, legendsff.com, about a year ago, and it doesn't do much, but I figured this would be a good example for this purpose. And it covers different leagues across the world, covers different players, and provides ticket information to those teams. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on this. And what we're going to do is, usually when you're connected to your Google account, you'll have the sites that are listed in your Google Search Console or whatever it might be. And in this case, it's the legendsff.com. So I just select this. And next thing we'll do is we'll just call it Legends. It doesn't matter what you call it at this point. That just gives it a title or a name. I am in the United States, so make sure this is very critical that you follow the guidelines. Otherwise, you'll just get booted. So if you're living in some other country, you want to put home country USA, I don't recommend that. I recommend keeping to your the country you live in. Now, you could probably get away with it, but is it worth it? Probably not. So if I hit this by checking this box, et cetera, I'll add publication. So it takes me to this page where we have a couple options here, and we're just going to focus on Google News. Okay, so the next step we're going to do is hit open. And under here, we're going to hit edit because you have a couple options you need to fill out. So under edit, we're going to select a category. Now we could go with entertainment because we're doing tickets, but in this case, we're just going to do sports. We want worldwide distribution right now, and because we're a worldwide event, now you can select individual countries if you want. We're going to hit next. You got a couple things we got to add. You'll see in a second. Here's the section that we'll get into where you hit new section and then you put your feed in. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit interesting, but bear with me. Okay, so this is the next important step. You need to put in your feed. Now you do have multiple options here, and this is an RSS feed, and you can look into that all you want. But if you're not familiar with it, you're pretty much if you're using a WordPress site, and that's what we're focused on today, you just want to add the feed for your news events to show up. Now, most categories show everything in your news feed. So you can do, for example, my site, which is legendsff.com/feed. But I don't necessarily want to show all that. So it's best to show what you want to be seen in news. So for this example, I am going to select just the MLS category. As you can see in here, I have the category MLS. And then when I hit enter, I can be on the category page, which is just MLS. So let's say I just want to focus on MLS news or Premier League news or whatever. And you can submit as many as you want, but I'm just focusing on MLS today. So then I go to page source, and this tells me where the feed is, and it's right here. You could do a Control F type of thing where you find feed. And just copy the link. So you see how it's got category MLS feed versus just feed, because that's everything. So we just want the MLS news. So that's important. So what I'm going to do is copy the link and then select feed here, put the feed in, and then we'll just call it Legends again. You can call it whatever you want, and then anyone can access it. So I'm going to hit add, and we're in. Okay, so I did save it, and this access group thing, I just created a tester group. And what I'm using is my email. So I'm just copying and pasting, trying to make it quicker. Of course, I'm not right now. So we'll call it Legends 1. Say add user and put the email in and then hit add. Okay, so now we have a Legends 1 with the Gmail account, and I'll hit save here. Okay, now everything's saved at this moment. What we're going to do is next, and we have issues. So that's fine. This is what's going to happen. You're going to have to fill out these things and fill in the information you need. So let's go ahead and start with content sections, 1 empty section. So let's hit review. And this is where it gets kind of interesting, because you're wondering what is happening. You keep going back and forth, and it's not getting, assigned. So we'll go back to next, and this is where it will show you a preview. So let's continue with the contacts, basic contacts, the publication name, country, language, delete publication, and then the publication URLs. We said Legends FF verified, so it's a verified domain, additional URL. Points of contact it wants me to add, so let's add a contact. We'll put that email in again. I'm going to say no to these two. No big deal there. And then it should send me a link for verification. Actually, when I did it on the previous one, it didn't do much. I don't even think I got an email from them about this, and I'll check that in a second to see if it does come through. Okay, so the next thing is visual styles. It's pretty much your logo. It wants like a 512, 1000 by 1000 JPEG or PNG file. So when it shows up in the news, you have something image-wise connected to your name. So if we just add square logo, give me a second. We'll just add square logo. I'm on my other screen just because I have some documents in here that I would like you guys not to see maybe. No big deal, but I'm just going to create... We'll see FC Dallas, see if it goes through or not. File maybe take a second. I'm just selecting a random file. So it's FC Dallas. Now, the idea is to select a logo. You want your logo to stand out. I'm just using this for test purposes because I don't have a logo on this site at the moment. And that will be for our next step. Now, you can do a rectangular logo and all these different formats. I recommend doing as much as you can get in there, like a light theme, dark theme. That way it shows up if someone's, doing their search at night and during the day. That does help. Okay, so now we'll scroll back up, go back to settings here, and we're in draft format, but let's go to open. And look, we have our files showing up here. We have our logo. We have the different teams that I did in my category. They're all the MLS teams and whatnot. So whatever your news event is, so if let's say we did a report on Charlotte FC, it'll be the first one. When it goes, this is how it's going to appear to them. Now, it's not necessarily going to, if you read this, it's not necessarily how it's really going to show up. but it definitely provides the information that's going to show. So if it looks good, you're good to go. And now you're in draft formation, and your next step will be to publish it. Okay, so you hit on edit, which is weird because you figure it'd be right next to it, like publish newsfeed. So yeah, I hit edit here, and then I go on to review and publish right here. Now, if you want to recheck everything, you can, just to confirm. You hit review and publish. You go through the terms and services, so you have to review it. You fill out all your information here. So give me a second, and I'll do that. Trying to save time. So I filled out all the information here. You can scroll down and read these terms. I've accepted it, and I submit. Okay, that's it. And you're good to go. All you have to do is hit publish, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to publish this site. But once you select publish, it'll give you give you a box like you saw at the beginning where it said draft, and that will say in review. Now, it might be a day, it might be a week, might be 2 weeks where you get a response from them. But in the end, you will get a response. And the question is whether you're going to get into the news anyway. So it doesn't matter if they accept you or not. Like currently I'm accepted. It's only been less than 3 or 4 hours. But am I going to get into the news? It'd be super cool if it does work. The goal of this video was to show you how I got into Google News or accepted my publishing on Google News, and whether it happens or not is up in the air at this point. But I'm looking for new sources of traffic, and hopefully this video helped you guys out. I know there's a lot going on in this SEO world, so if you get in for your niche, good for you. At least give it a shot. It can't hurt. Just make sure you follow the guidelines and try not to manipulate anything, because that's not the right way to go. Make sure your site is providing something good, which mine is, because I talk about tour announcements and things like that. So just stay on the good side of Google. Do not try to force it, and it should work out for you. Let me know what you guys think. If this video helped you, I know it's a little all over the place, but that's how I roll. I like to keep it real. And subscribe to the channel if you're new, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. Have a great one, and look for new videos in the future.